Hello everyone, Sheila back again, welcome to my channel. I'm busy doing a bit of the green cardigan, and I knitted a few rows without anything on my hands, but I've had to put the gloves on because I could feel the itching starting on my hands. I wish I could knit longer because I thought I had some other rubber gloves I could put on my hands that were a little bit rougher, because these are very smooth and it's a bit slippy. Look at that when you're knitting. But I keep like going like that and doing them, trying to make like wrinkles on the gloves. Because on my fingers is not too bad there. But otherwise my fingers just tend to keep slipping when I first put them on. They slip up and down the needles and that. It's a little bit better after I've had them on a while, but I forgot to put some talc on my hands before I put them on, so I'll probably have trouble getting them off. I tried to take them off without turning them inside out. But anyway, I do what I can of this until tea time. I have to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another row after this one, and I'll be onto the cable one where I'll be putting it down, because I can't do cables when I'm sitting talking, crossing over cables, but I'll be putting it down anyway. So I'll put it down to show you what I have been doing. And I'll take these gloves off while I'm doing that, because I have to blow inside the gloves to get them because they're sticking to my fingers. I haven't got quite that one. That's it. That's it. Put them back down there. They're better when they do stick to my fingers, because that's when they get like wrinkles on them. They're probably the wrinkles off my skin. So I'll put them back on after, because I won't do any more of that until after I finish what I'm doing here. Well, I have one little cardigan here. I forgot all about this one actually. I just had to sew it up and put the band around it, because it's a V-neck and I do the band all in one. I start from one end, pick the stitches up all the way around and down again, so I don't join it at the top here. I don't like joining the band. I do it all the way around. So there was like 199 stitches altogether that I picked up for that. So that is the 22-inch one on my pattern, completely finished. That one's ready to go up on my shop. And as you can see, that one's for a little girl because it's more pinkish colours. Actually, I couldn't make up my mind what, you see the buttons there. I've opted for pink because it is peach. You can see the colours maybe is in there. There's like little dots of peach, and it's a deeper pink in that here. There's a deeper pink in that. And I did try some peach ones, but they were too bright. They were too bright for the a lot brighter than the peach that's in the cardigan. The pink is paler, but I opted for the pink ones. I thought they looked better with the pink one. So that one's finished anyway. One. That, like I'm saying, that one's ready to go in my shop. And then I finished the bag I was doing too. This one, it hasn't got the PU leather bottom on. It's just the crocheted bottom. And I started out originally as a a yarn ball holder bag, but I thought it was too soft and floppy for it. But actually, once I started crocheting and getting a bit more, it does practically stand up for itself. So it was better than I thought it was. So, but I just carried on, and I've made, that's more or less what I call a medium size bag. This one measures 14.5 inches across there, and the centre part up to here, it comes to 12.5 inches from the, when you flatten the bottom down, it's 12.5 inches from there up to there, but 13 inches because on each side of the straps, because I do go, when I do the handles, I should say, when I do the handles, I don't go across that bit. I go up to where the handle is, do the handle over, and then join it further over there. So it's actually about 12.5 inches up to here, but 13 inches up to there. So that is what I call a medium size one, without the PU base things on them. That one's like a medium size. The bigger ones I do are probably about 16 inches wide, probably by about 15 inches deep. So that was that one. That one's finished. That's ready to go in my shop as well. Hold that one down there like that and that, and put that over there. And I was at my granddaughter's yesterday, and I took this knitting with me. But when I was there, I should have taken the back with me, because when I measure, once I've done the back, I don't bother measuring the fronts and the sleeves and that. I just go by how many, there's 4 rows in those little, the raindrops on there. I just count them up, the raindrops. I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, how many I've done up to the armholes, and that's just what I do on the fronts. But I forgot to take the back with me, so I wasn't sure how many I had done. And I didn't have my tape measure, and my granddaughter couldn't find hers, so. Anyway, this is what I done. This is how my brain works. I had the smaller needles with me, because I took the 325mm with me as well, just in case I got the side finished. And that was how much I had done. I didn't think it was quite ready for the armholes, but I actually counted up the ones on the armholes, and there's 15, but I think there's only 12 on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I could have done 3 more of the things, but I didn't want to carry on knitting in case I didn't get the right number. And I thought, I've only got 1 ball with me. I didn't want to cut it off either to start on another one. So what I did, this is how my brain works. So instead of cutting it off and starting with the smaller needles, as you can see, that's a cake. And I'm knitting this piece here. I'm knitting from the outside, the wool's coming from the outside. So I started knitting the other piece, but I took it from the wool that was coming out the centre there, so I can knit with 2 pieces from the same ball. I thought that was a good idea, that. Only I'm getting a bit tangled up with this wool where it's all, that bit there. I'll have to finish the piece on the where I'm taking it from the centre, because if I start knitting the other piece and the wool's going round like that, round the ball, going round and round, coming off, it'll tangle up that bit there. So this bit just comes up itself as I'm knitting. So I'm going to finish this piece first and then join what's left and finish that piece. That's the way my brain works. I can work things out. And how do I get all, I'll have to make my brain work and get all this untangled, what I've got here. I know I'll just take that under there like that. Take the long end out of the way, and there we are. That's all untangled now, and I'll just wind that up on there, back around there to tighten it up. and put that down there beside me. And I have another 4mm needle there. So I'll just do a little bit of this while I'm talking, because I'm nearly up to the crossing the cables on the green one. But anyway, I was at my granddaughter's yesterday, and you know, it was another rotten day. Plenty rain for anything you've got growing in your garden. But my potatoes are growing great in the garden, but the peas aren't doing so well, because I think they don't just need water, they need heat, and we haven't had any heat. But it's a nice day. It's not hardly any sun today, but it is 18 degrees. When I finish this video, I'm going out in my garden to take some of those weeds back up from that's grown back through my patio, because all that rain we've had started them off again. But anyway, when I was at my granddaughter's, you know, the kids get bored very easily, and my granddaughter stopped them on playing on the iPads all day long, because it tends to alter their personality. It makes them very cheeky. And I noticed that with them, and so she lets them play a couple of hours in the morning, and then she said they could play again after their dinner if they ate all their dinner. Well, Frankie and Tommy did, but Eddie wouldn't eat his. So he wasn't allowed to play on his iPad after dinner. But the other two were, and he started getting really cheeky and stroppy. And anyway, I always have bags of sweets for them. I take bags of sweets down for them, but they don't get them until after their dinner. And before they had their dinner, they had been playing with the Lego bricks, and they were all over the floor. And my granddaughter told them to get them picked up before they could go on their iPads. You know, they just didn't take a heap of the notice of her. They just completely ignored her. And their dad was telling them off, and they were arguing with him. And I said, when we were kids, we didn't argue with our parents. If our parents told us to do something, we did it. My mother, I gave my granddaughter an example of my mother. Says, when we were kids, we had coal fires in those days. That's what we had. Most of us did have coal fires. Some people had gas fires, you know, but most were coal fires. My mother only told us once, if we had been playing with something and left it on the floor and didn't pick it up when she told us, it went on the fire. That's what I was telling my granddaughter. She's a pity you haven't got a coal fire, because as these all Lego bricks would be on the fire now, because as his I'd throw them on. Because they were told as many times. And I had, before all this started, I had given them their bag of sweets. And Tommy started answering his mum back. So I just grabbed the sweets out of his hand. He hadn't opened the packet. I grabbed the sweets out of his hand. Eddie's as well. And you know the look on their faces. And I says, you do not get these sweets until you pick all them Lego bricks up off the floor. Put them back in the box. And the look on their faces. And so Tommy started picking them up anyway, where he started complaining. He says, well, Eddie was playing with them as well. I says, well, you pick half of them up. I says, and Eddie can pick the other half up. But you know, they had one of them little brush and pan things, and he was just brushing them up. It would only take a few seconds. He was just brushing them up under the pan thing and putting them back into the box. Well, Tommy picked all his up, so I gave him his sweets. And Eddie started moaning on about it and all that. And I says, you're not getting your sweets till you pick the other half of those Lego bricks up. And I showed him, there you are. I says, there's the pan, do what your Tommy was doing. They did eventually get them all picked up, because, you know, the threat of not having a bag of sweets was something that made them pick it up. But, you know, kids these days, they've got no imagination. All they want to do is play on iPads. Even when there's a lovely day, I've seen them sitting on their iPads. Where I think my granddaughter was getting a bit sick of the it's changing their attitude altogether, and I think she was getting a bit sick of them. You know, the cheek she was getting off them, so she was stopping them playing on the iPads all day long, and that's, she says it does keep them quiet, but she says, I don't like the way their attitude when they're on them. So that was my day at my granddaughter's, and I was glad to get home to my nice, quiet, peaceful house. You know, me and my granddaughter were trying to talk to each other. We couldn't even hear each other what we were saying for the racket of the kids. But anyway, I'll not be there again till next Sunday. I like seeing them, but I like going home too. So anyway, that's just a little bit extra today to let you see what some of my things are up to. I only got 1 or 2 rows done of mine. I'm going to have to find some time, you know, like to fit in. It is coming up a little bit. I think I got from the last cable, from that cable up to there, that's about what I did yesterday on it, I think. I think I'm going to have to work out and leave a little spare time for my own things as well as other people's. So anyway, I'm probably going to pop out in my garden for about an hour to clear some of the weeds after I get this video sorted and put it up on YouTube. So thumbs up and subscribe. I'll catch you all another time. Bye for now.